out in your birthday messages.
They're all
you can send
welcome.
them all to WhatsApp with the number 020-444-7033. This is, once again, 30 minutes, and we'll catch you right after the break.
Day 5 of the Heritage Caravan began with a southernward trip to the Savannah region. We got to the capital, Damongo, and traversing through interesting historical locations along the way, eventually the Mole National Park. After a detailed briefing by our tour guide, the caravanites were in high anticipation of seeing wildlife at the park and maybe even a rare sighting. Watch part 1 of the Heritage Caravan Diaries Day 5 every weekday only on City TV.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your favorite show. Of course, all we do here for this exact time interval, by the way, is discuss any and everything that's trending on the social interwebs. Best believe that if you're talking about it, if you're forming opinions, have certain feelings, and it's scattered across the timelines and your scrolls, we will report it.
Definitely.
Our names are
Lourdes Alexandra Opon and
Jude Duncan. You can find me on Twitter at Mensa Duncan.
And you can find me on Twitter at Hello Lourdes.
And of course, we can find you via our WhatsApp line 020-444-7033 or responsibility to of prolific feminist, Ghanaian author, politician, and matriarch, as you so put it, playwright,
I mean,
the amazing Professor Ata Aidoo. She passed away this morning, or it was reported by her family, her passing as of this morning, this Wednesday in the AM. And as you know, essays and dedications are just filing in about this amazing woman who not only created a movement but changed the face of feminism from a West African woman's perspective, but more so via literature and even down to our education system. So for a lot of you that didn't know, she was an author, a poet, a playwright, and an academic. She was born, she's a fancy woman, she was born literally near the beach. And then her dad was actually a teacher. Her dad actually
no
school.
Surprises there at all.
And then she chased the academic dream, went over to Wesley Girls for secondary school, headed over to Legon, where she became a lecturer after, and then wrote an astonishing amount of books that are so central to African literature states, more specifically feminist West African literature. So that is Ata Aidoo. Recently in pop culture, she's always referenced in many songs. She was referenced in Burna Boy's song, where she talks about a lot from us.
That's true. I mean, my fond memories of her will be way back in senior high school, where we were asked to read her book, Change is a Love Story. I mean, incredible piece of writing. And it's how she's able to connect to our roots and tell the African story in a unique way. I mean, telling our own stories the way they have to be told.
1000%.
And I mean, I agree a lot. Celebrating. I mean,
and she was down for the cause from the beginning of her career right down to the end. She stood for something, and she stood firmly for it, for Pan-Africanism, for women's betterment of women's lives in the professional and personal sphere, but more so just for the African narrative. What it Ata Aidoo, man, you are an absolute star.
She is, I mean, she is. And her recognitions, the awards and all of that speak for itself, right? So she's been recognized all over the continent, all over the world, really. I mean, and for all of us here, we wish the family in this period of mourning, they'll find comfort in the fact that her legacy actually lives on, and it's probably going to live on. I mean, if you look at the incredible amount of work, the books, the stories, the poems, and all of the things she did, even the talks, really, and some of the things she said,
Nuggets
and at
of
the
wisdom.
time she said it, I mean,
she was
pushing
so
for
ahead of her time. I like to refer to her as a prototype feminist because at least at that time, feminism was basically defined by Western values. So everybody had an idea of what feminism was, but via a Western perspective.
And
she just gave this
localized
ultra-new,
it,
post-modern, applicable to the African or at least West African experience. And for a lot of girls like myself who write and also believe in women's rights, she literally paved the way.
I mean, an incredible pace setter, and like I was saying, her work really transcends generations, because I mean, if you can't think about it, I was reading her stuff in secondary school, and some of it has lived with me up until now. 1,000%. So I mean, like I said, our sincere sympathies and condolences.
Legends that were living amongst us.
People have done incredible stuff.
Anyway,
it's amazing.
In case you were wondering way more about this amazing person that is Professor Ata Aidoo, we'll go right into her profile, which is very much alive on citynewsroom.com. All right, so let's get to know a little bit more about this amazing person. So acclaimed Ghanaian author was confirmed by her family. Okay, so that's the profile of the late acclaimed Ghanaian author. That's Solo Oyinka, if I'm correct. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's also another. Soyinka, yes. So she was born as Christina Ata Aidoo on March the 23rd, 1942, and she died at the age of 81 this morning. All right, so the death of the celebrated author was confirmed by her family in a press statement. And they said the family of Professor Ata Aidoo, with deep sorrow but in hope of the resurrection, informs the general public that our beloved relative and writer passed away in the early hours of this morning, Wednesday, the 31st of May 2023, after a short illness. Funeral arrangements would be announced in due course. The family requests privacy at this difficult moment. The family head, Kwamina Asendo Aidoo, announced in a short statement. The late Ata Aidoo was widely regarded as one of Africa's leading literary figures and a prominent feminist voice within African literature.
Period.
Aidoo was born in...
She was born in Abeji Chiako, a small village in the central region, and she obtained her early education in Ghana and later pursued higher education in the United States and the United Kingdom. She received a Bachelor of Arts degree in English from the University of Ghana and completed a Master's degree in African Studies at the University of Ghana. And she furthered her studies at the University of London, earning a diploma in English Studies. Her writing career began in the early 60s, and she quickly gained recognition for her identity and African culture. In 1977, received critical acclaim and is considered a seminal work of African feminist literature.
All right, so we have the entire profile of this prolific author, feminist, professor,
incredible.
Everything. Literally on citynewsroom.com. So please become acquainted. For a lot of you that don't know, she was actually our Minister of Education during Rollins' time. Then she passed the opportunity. She resigned because she wasn't able to fulfill her goal of making education free for everyone. So this is what we mean when we say prototype. She was way ahead of her time.
Yeah, I mean, they're standing for a cause, not being, diluted. Right. Believing in a certain goal and working towards achieving. I mean, I feel that we've lost a really iconic.
We have. I was talking on radio today,
yeah.
and I was talking about how she's actually one of. I have a list of people that I'd love to meet because they've inspired me in some shape or form, and she's actually one of the people that I mean.
At least we could still meet her in her books, in her work,
engage with her material,
in her public
push
engagement,
through her messages and her ideology. True. It's great, especially since it's for the benefit of not just African women, not just Ghanaian women, but everyone. Africans in general.
True.
So obviously we have to share some nuggets of wisdom from the professor herself. So enjoy this very amazing video by the late Professor Ata Aidoo.
Do I apologize?
All right, so apologies about the sound situation, but if you happen to use social media intensively or are a fan of Professor Ata Aidoo, you would know about this iconic video, which was been used in many songs, many references, culture references, but most importantly, the message that pushes that the Western world continue to take from us, that is even in post-colonialism, and we have no more to give.
I mean, and towards the tail end of that particular video, she talks about the fact that we can no longer be pushovers and that it's time to really work towards earning a spot really at the highest level. And to be very honest with you, these are some of the words that have lived with me very dearly. I mean, it's incredible.
100%. Now that you've heard everything that we have to say about this prolific figure, let's see what you're saying on social media too. All right, so Nova says, no sweetness here. She's gone to heavens to taste the sweetness. Oh.
All right.
Kado Mako says, I read one of her books back in the training college, The Girl Who Can. Very deep and knowledgeable personality. May her soul rest well. Billy says, oh, slow. This woman make we read stories sad and she is gone. Sad.
Her reading is good, Billy.
Akunka says, her story has ended, but her words live on. Absolutely agree. May she find peace at where she journeys to. And Polongo says, the inspiration behind Ata Aidoo's No Sweetness Here was Ghana. So we for all travel, then left this country.
I mean, trust social media just to find the humor, really, in any kind of story that breaks. Incredible. I feel like there's still sweetness here in Ghana, is there not?
Okay, debatable. I'm not really sure about that. But Esquin says, you were a literally icon, a gem and one of the trailblazers of African realism in drama and more. You depicted Africa and the Ghanaian rich culture in the right light, inviting admiration and respect. Thank you, Gallant Soldier, and rest on in peace. Great woman of letter and value. Wow. So
Absolutely
profound.
agreed.
MFR says, OMG, definitely a legend. We won't forget in a hurry. Loved her brilliance and her audacity. If there was one thing that Professor Ata Aidoo had, it was audacity. You should see some of her interviews.
She was definitely going to go at it without like any remorse whatsoever. Incredible.
Sheriff says, you inspired many and I'm proud to be part of the work that is not finished. We have to keep our pens sharp. Absolutely. If you're a writer out there,
you owe it to her.
Keep it going. Yeah. Keep it going in terms of ideology, even if it's fictional or non-fictional.
Yeah.
Let's keep, you know, the heritage going, our writing, because there's nothing more important than documentation via writing. Kofi Akpo says, may she find sweetness wherever she's going. R.I.P. legend. Aww. And finally, Hipsy says, indeed, no sweetness here. Your legacy still lives on. R.I.P. Ata Aidoo. Black says she's gone. Here comes her praises. Why can't we appreciate people more when they are still around? I feel like we did give Professor Ata Aidoo her flowers.
I mean,
her books are heavily circulated within the Ghanaian education system.
I mean, like I was saying, we read a book back in senior high school.
Right.
And
what was that experience like?
It was incredible. I mean, a lot of the time, the books we were reading
were from men.
Were from men, true.
Or white people.
Or foreign. Yes. So, I mean, having someone tell the African story, the Ghanaian story, in a way that's easily relatable to you as a student was quite remarkable. So, yeah, I mean, for me, can engage me. Life nuggets really that help you in the course of time. I think she knew before she died that she's really one of the people we really cherish and admire here. So I think she had her flowers.
I think she definitely did.
There's nothing wrong with giving her more.
It will give her even more. Her legacy still lives on.
True.
So do her words. So once again, from the entire city family to your family, that is the Ata Aidoo family or any associated family, friends, people that loved her work, that Ata Aidoo, rest in power.
Yeah.
All right, so resting in power also means celebrating the words that she left with us. And so here is a clip of the late professor.
Since we met you people 500 years ago, look at us. We've given everything. You are still taking. It's true. I mean, where will the whole Western world be without Africa? our cocoa, our timber, our gold, our diamonds, our platinum, our whatever, everything in it, it's a fact. And in return for all of this, what have we got? Nothing. Anti-personnel indoctrination against ourselves. If you go and cook your horrible diseases like AIDS, you say it is us. You brought us tuberculosis. We didn't have this big cough until white people came here. In exchange for Africa giving Europe 500 solid years of our people, I mean not Europe, the Western world, of our human beings to work your canes, to dig your gold, to take in gold itself, diamond, I mean, you know, fish, peanuts, palm oil, everything. In exchange for that, we have got nothing. Nothing. And you know it.
All right, so those are some of the words, very empowering words from Professor Ata Aidoo. Some people may call her audacious, but that's what you need when you need to change things in this world.
Incredible.
We'll catch you right after the break.
The Voice Factory Season 5 is on, and this has been the journey so far. The excitement.
What is the best way to pray? What shall I say now? I swear.
No, I'll give you a standing ovation.
You are
a standing ovation.
I couldn't even sit. Like, I couldn't even sit from your voice. Like, I'm crying right now.
The disappointments.
Is that it?
Yeah, I have another song.
At piano?
The soul-hugging voices and the ones not so amazing.
Broken down and tired of living life in a merry-go-round, and you can find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' work it out.
Oh, 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 ah. This your love is sweeter than honey. Anything you do, do it for me. If this town is an apple, then let me take a bite. If they say why, tell them that this human nature. Why does it do it that way? Sad man story. Dinami. We are see my way. I no get nothing.
Now we have our top 10 finalists. Get ready for the live shows. On the 10th of June 2023, the magic of the Voice Factory Season 5 begins only on City TV. The Voice Factory Season 5 is sponsored by Ebony Condoms.
Every day and I will pull up on top. That be why hustling be my anthem. Me want make money, make my mommy proud. She will give me pep, give me more than.
We are live, we are back. Welcome back. This is 30 Minutes, a very reliable source for any and everything
Definitely.
that's trending.
Power the show.
Yes,
I mean,
you do. You're
it's
the
one of the
plus.
few shows where mean, it's cool, right? Exactly.
1000%.
So, guys, I mean, keep on sending your messages. Use the hashtag 30 minutes. Tweet at us. When we see it, we'll read it out to you. And like Lourdes said in the beginning of the show, all of your well wishes, your shout outs, your comments, your views, all of it, we got you covered.
We do have you covered. And speaking of having you covered, we even have you covered on the digital side of things.
Exactly.
Make sure you head over to YouTube and subscribe to our channel now. Or better yet, whip out your camera apps, scan the QR code on Jude's side,
right there.
And voila, you're right there on CCTV. We have any and everything from sports, entertainment, business, news, you name it. We're literally reliable, and it's literally your world too. So make sure you subscribe, and then once you're at it, and comment, like, and then share to every single person, relevant or irrelevant, in your lives. Right, moving swiftly on to our second topic. Unfortunately, as we said before at the beginning of the show, this entire episode today is all about death.
Right, unfortunate.
And whilst we celebrate the passing of a prolific,
incredible
person,
amazing, fantastic.
We also mourn the gory deaths, or a series of gory deaths that have been happening apparently within a particular section of Nigeria, if I'm correct?
Yeah, in Owerri State.
Yes, allegedly.
Yeah.
Now, there's a video circulating, a very gory video circulating, of a woman being caught after slashing a child to death and apparently trying to take the organs to harvest for some kind of trafficking conspiracy. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will provide so have a look.
Who be this girl? Who be this girl? Who be this girl? Who be this girl? Huh? Are you okay? Who be this girl now? You carry knife, kill person, kill small baby. Help the boy. Go. I don't want to hold the baby.
I mean, I feel like if why would you want to go through an ordeal like this, right, and subject the family to pain because you want to achieve a certain purpose? For me, this in like no uncertain terms.
Those are the In the meantime, get acquainted with the City program, because we've got a stock of shows and events created just for you. But before we do that, let's see what you're saying on social media about this very scary situation.
All right, so Farouk Halilu _ tweets and says, the audacity to take me to police station is chilling. She definitely has a plan up her sleeves to slip legal consequences. So apparently she wanted to be sent to the police station instead of
she can go to jail.
more said Holy Spirit, that part's not clear. Couldn't really hear what she was saying. How does murder connect with the Holy Spirit? Incredible. All right, Omotosho Ayika tweets and says, I thought she had the Holy Spirit sent her. Jungle justice is bad, but how do we console the mother of the child? Not just for losing the child, but seeing your baby slaughtered. I mean, man, I mean myself, true, I can't even imagine it. I can't wrap my head around a story like this. It's
as of next week, it's no longer at 5 o'clock, but rather 5:30, ladies and gentlemen. So we're definitely coming every single day, but you know, we're shifting it for a later time because we're trying to consider the fact that a lot of you are coming from school, from your offices, from work, and best believe that, you know, we've got you covered.
All right, and the City Business Festival, guess what? It's starting tomorrow, finally. The 1st to the 30th of June this year. Week 1, we'll have to deal with the digital economy. Week 2, SMEs in Ghana. Week 3, we talk about retail and consumer markets. Week 4, the agribusiness ecosystem. So the City Business Festival, it's coming your way this month of, next month of June.
We are asking you, in not less than 600 words, write a story that ends with the statement, the happiest people do not have the best of everything, they make the best of everything. So make sure your handwriting, or the scripts are in your own handwriting, it's endorsed by your parents, and then obviously you have to add your full contact details. The deadline for submission is Saturday the 15th of July. Submit your entries to the front desk of City TV or City FM, or PO Box GP 14123 Accra Central. Of course, you can call 0558 973 973 for inquiries, because you may stand the chance of winning 10,000 Ghana cedis and a trophy. The Literacy Challenge 2023 is sponsored by the Ghana National Gas Company and Rippy Crunchy Snacks.
Charlie, I ate that biscuit today.
Yeah, that was amazing.
And my life hasn't been the
that
same
was amazing.
again, guys.
I need to get some more from Sappho, actually.
True. The Heritage Caravan Diaries is also airing on City TV every Monday to Friday at 10:30 a.m. Catch all of those exciting moments on the caravan, really, and get to see the interesting places you didn't know existed in this country, guys. So don't miss out on the Heritage Caravan Diaries. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for rocking us this evening. We go again tomorrow. Definitely.
We'll catch you same time. Have a lovely day.
Bye-bye.
Evening, actually.
Welcome to Class Act, your virtual classroom only on City TV, where you get to learn and develop at your own pace. We shall continue our lessons today on core mathematics,